And
Hey, you
and what's up, everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer. And with me is the man, the myth, the legend, T-Man 978.
I hope it was just for me, but you froze for a second.
You have that a bit effect on me. Actually, I actually shut up to let you talk. I actually pause. This mouth does stop occasionally, like that. But oh, no, it is not John Warden, but I will probably talk about that later. But what it is Thursday. And you know what that means? It is time for the Figure Action Podcast. And it has been a fun, busy week. I've been hopping around on a whole lot of streams. The John Warden thing, I was actually with this guy on Tuesday. Abi, great to see you. Thank you again so much for hosting your open mic Tuesday nights. Please check out Figure Fight Club on Tuesday nights around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He puts a link out there. If you can get in the room, you're on the show. And then every Friday he gets some solid heavy hitters. But I didn't. I almost downloaded and put the clip on, but I didn't want to steal your footage, man. But Shartimus Prime actually, for some reason, thought I was John Warden from the guy from Hasbro. So I thought that was kind of amusing.
He didn't have on his glasses.
I guess. And then last night I was also part of the 3POA trivia game with Avi. That was actually a lot of fun. Also, Illustrated Figures was there too. It was a pretty good time. But we got some awesome people in the chat this week. All right, there is Roll Keeper, so you can always trust a man who keeps his rolls. Sean Stuff, good to see you, man. The Titan, hail to you. Mariano, hey, you were actually mentioned on the Hella Dope podcast this Sunday, believe it or not. Because of you, Mariano, Hella Dope Toys is now carrying Transformer figures. I am not lying. So you specifically asked them to carry Transformer figures. So I want you at some point while this is going on to go check out their website. I know they just got some new stuff in. So Mariano, we set that up for you. Makashi, always good to see you. Aquateki, fantastic regular out there. Winston, the man, the myth, the guy who's that freaking tall. Venom, Venom Bite, thank you so much for joining my live cast from earlier this week. And I wanted to make sure everyone saw that Toy Mafia is here every week, mentioning those who are no longer with us, and we appreciate that. That means a ton. So, but more importantly, now that we've talked about this week, T-Man, how are you doing? Have you gotten anything cool, anything interesting? And I still can't believe that's a Takara Tomy figure. I mean, it looks better and better every time I see you handling
it. I am good. I'm happy that it's almost Friday.
That is true.
I get to leave work early. I think usually like the Friday before the holiday, usually get off early sometimes. So I get to be off this time. And I didn't buy nothing. I was supposed to have 5 things today, but I had to make life choices and cancel all of them.
Aww.
I couldn't get and it was the next wave of the G.I. Joe that were coming out with Leatherneck and Xandar, whatever the heck.
Mine's already in the mail, so I couldn't cancel it anyway.
It was just in time. They kept telling me one after another. This one's pushed. This one's pushed. This one's pushed. One they didn't tell me about. The Armada. Armada Universe. Sideswipe. No, not Sideswipe. Wheeljack, the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was coming. I didn't even get one email about that. I canceled that too. So yeah.
I'm just. You were making your life decisions. I would have kept Xandar of all of them. Just saying. That's just me.
I would have. I just checked, and a lot of them are back on there for $29.
Okay.
And it looks like they're being sold by Amazon, which is confusing.
Okay. But hey, This is called being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So I commend you for that. I actually got a few things this week, which is kind of nice. One I did get, for example, Helidope Toys. They shipped me a second Death's Head, which I still have in Ted's fantastic packaging. So I already have one. As you already know, I did review it, but I did order a second one because, to be honest, this packaging is absolute gold. It's like one of the few ones I actually want to keep. Mittens wanted to have a Mitten sealed box one, so I'm happy with that. Also, Mezco finally shipped my Doctor Nocturnal, the buff one. So we'll try to get a review out later this week for this guy, or probably early next week for this one. But I've been very much anticipating this guy from Rumble Society. Then,
Nice if they ship out my thing I paid for 2 months ago.
well, I've been waiting. That came out in New York. I pre-ordered that one right during New York Comic Con, and people who were at Comic Con walked out with them, and then he finally showed up this week. Also, though, on Saturday, I did get a shipment from Valaverse, where if you caught the live stream, you know what I got, which was an extra Praetorian. I did also get the White Suit Pandora, and
that video.
Hmm?
I didn't catch it live, but I did watch.
That was a fun video. I was happy to make it because I got her, and then I got the bloody version, which I'm like, it's everything. I want to open this so bad. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't. I'm like totally torn by it, but it's awesome. I finally got a bloody variant, so that made me very happy. I don't know why the white suit. I don't know if it's the articulation or just been handling it, but I do like this one better. I like this pose, for example, is absolute cash money. I'm hopefully gonna try to get a photo of it later with her like leaning out from behind a pillar. So, and don't worry, he is on his way, and I will be mentioning, much like a Ryan Reynolds Mint Mobile commercial, that I have a bloody Pandora, and that I've got a bloody Pandora, and I've got a bloody Pandora. So, but. So Junkion will be joining us, but I know for a fact that he's not the biggest on trade. Well, never mind. There's the man. There he is, right there.
Are you done showing off your bloody variant?
You mean my bloody Pandora?
Congratulations.
No,
Mike knows how to paint. He can make a bloody Pandora.
that is true.
Yeah, I got it, man. No worries. But if I don't have to paint.
But Mike, how are you doing? Have you gotten anything cool this week?
Oh, yeah. It's been a week. What's up, Abby? We'll start with you since you just popped in. I want to say thank you to Abby and Figure Fight Club. I was on one of his streams and he was giving away this exclusive White Dragon, and it arrived last night. So again, thank you so much. What else? Okay. Did I say that I was getting a croaker last week? Well, if I didn't, it came in over the weekend. So $60 for like this big chunk of plastic. It looks pretty. It's actually pretty cool. Articulation with it. I mean,
How tall is it?
Single jointed. What's that?
How tall is it?
It's probably about, I'd say 7.5. I mean, I know it towers over a 1/12 like Joe and stuff, so it's probably a little taller. But I will measure it and let you know.
I wonder that guy just was not a fan of how they did the neck on that.
Yeah, that's one thing I did notice when I opened the box is that you have to separate the neck to have him look left or right. So it's one of those you set it and take your picture and go. With that, I don't know if I showed this guy off or not, but the Barbarian Santa's pretty badass. He's really cool looking. I love the soft goods cape that comes with it. And my father Christmas, yeah, that just was charged today. So yeah, that's my pile of loot as well. Hey, thanks, man. This was an Etsy pickup actually. My wife gave it to me because she lost. Actually, I lost my very favorite ball cap. Quick story: it was picked up the day I went to A school, which is like your initial career school for the Navy. It was down in Pensacola, Florida, and I found a Corona ball cap, and that ball cap stayed with me my entire Navy career. It has been at least highest elevation of like 40,000 feet and at least 600 feet below sea level. Anyway, I miss it. What else came in? Okay, so Amazon decided to pop everything at once. So I got these two Joes. Heavy just came in tonight, so I haven't even played with them yet. And then Saw Viper and Xandar, they came in as well. And
You're gonna like the Iron Grenadier.
what's that?
You're gonna like the Iron Grenadier.
He's the only one I've actually kind of opened and played with, and he's all right. He's all right. I want to see what Leatherneck is like.
Agreed.
My Frazetta Girls Norseman came in last night as well. He's pretty interesting. The helmet's a little big, but unlike me, he's a little challenged.
You look very buff for a Rosetta girl.
What's that?
So she looks very buff for a Rosetta girl.
Yeah. So I have Tigra as well. I don't have the Dark Wolf guy, but he's a little tall next to King Conan. I did kind of show a little sizing picture yesterday, but he's pretty cool. I like him. Last two items. One was why did I do it after the fact? But there was a lot of this hubbub that's been going on about the McFarlane 77 Superman. So I went to GameStop near work. They didn't have the deluxe version, but they did have the page punchers, which is like more the cell shaded one. Funny story though, people have been putting in their pre-orders and that waiting for the complete version, and they've been getting this version instead. So there's a frustration from that. But I opened them up and automatically I was like, why? I mean, he's cool.
It's a McFarlane.
Yeah, the cell shading is okay, but the fact that I don't know if you can tell here, but like the ball joints for his wrists are blue instead of flesh tone. And it just stands out so badly that like as soon as I picked it up, I saw it, I'm like, I still want to see it because if I do want this one to stand, the uncell shaded one to stand next to my Keaton Batman, I at least want to know if I want it or not. So I'm glad I picked this up because I might not want the other one. I don't know. Last thing that finally arrived after 30 days, I got Don't Kill Me.
What just happened there?
I touched the keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah. So, wait, that's you again. Hi, you. Hi, me. We're professionals.
Okay. So,
not touch anything. All right.
Yeah,
so,
don't touch anything. And why aren't we going to kill you?
Because I bought gridiron stuff.
And why would we kill you?
I don't know. But I got a.
We're not an elitist tribalistic podcast.
No, we're not. So I got upgrade kit for Torch just because it looked cool and it was on sale. Some extra weapons because you never have enough weapons. This one was the splurge in regards to I got the Wild Bill weapon because I liked it, looked pretty cool. So this is kind of like his loadout set. Definitely not worth $30, but then the big thing is wrap it here. I'm almost done.
What's your big thing? We need the ratings.
You're not gonna get them off me, man. Right. Yep, yep. Thanks, Mariano. But last thing I picked up was one of these drone things with the weapon set that sits across the top. So I thought it was kind of cool, and it's going to go well with something I'm painting and working on right now. So it's a neat little toy. It'll be good, and it actually is much better looking than the Trouble Bubble like mech legs that they
Legs.
made.
Yeah, I still couldn't get. It was I think that was more of a neat concept, but they needed to be taller. I don't know what was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, really, for me, I bought the legs, and they look unfinished. Like they looked like they were two halves. There were still like glue seams.
Right.
It just wasn't done. So for those that completed the whole snake armor kit, good on you. But other than that, that's all I got.
Okay.
One more acquisition, and we have to call intervention.
Dude, you need to. Yeah, it's funny. Like I had this space pretty much set back up where I felt not super crowded, but it took a bunch of pre-orders finally showing up. So there's some things I had to, for my own sanity and well-being, cancel. So
yeah, well, that's gonna be me on Saturday. On Saturday, I've already braced my wife, but my 4 Horsemen shipment arrives.
Oh, that's right.
So letting you guys know on Sunday, it's probably Sunday midday. I'll probably be doing a live unboxing showing off what I got from 4 Horsemen.
That's cool.
But space is always for collectors. Space is always a struggle. Gene Roddenberry was right. Space is that final frontier. So
Yep. So, was that the last one? Or did you guys go through stuff yet?
we went through stuff here. Cosmos and Cutman's coming tomorrow. Just so you guys know, if you didn't get Cosmos, Hella Dope Toys also did get the new Cosmos in, and yeah, a lot of me getting assaulted by my wife. My wife probably won't be helping with that, but I will have my lovely producer helping me out. So
stop! I'm not that lovely.
I was talking about, my kid.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So anyway, yeah, I miss getting the crazy. Unfortunately, that was one of the things I wanted to get, that crazy figure, the crazy girl figure, and unfortunately, I hadn't gotten paid, so I can't do any purchasing until next week because I don't get paid until.
They are up on pre-order at BBTS. Just
probably not for the same price though that 5K had them for.
36.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So not too terrible from the 25.
Well, you finally sold out on 5K.
Yeah,
just from Abby. So let's go ahead and start things off with some news. Here we want to start off. We mentioned this before briefly. It's not last week, the week before, but the AMT Predaking. This is AMT2, and Rodimus is, of course, what went up for pre-order, and actually he is sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. And I know when we first saw this, we thought, okay, this is very stylized. We kind of made some comparisons to Kang Toys. They got the prototype up there. Here's looking all, stylized and posing and imposing and things like that. And then they had the box, which I'll be honest, for me, when I saw this, took a lot of the wind out of my sails.
I was probably never going to get it, but seeing them separated, I was like, this looks like something that's eventually going to be a Generations figure, but Takara told me is selling it first.
Well, yeah. You brought up in the chat. I mean, first of all, I was like, okay, cool. They're doing it as a 5-pack, so there won't be like chasing or like waiting like for a figure to come out every 6 to 8 weeks type of thing.
Mhm.
But T-Man pointed out, especially when you look at this, the bot modes here, these are essentially just a heavy retool of Combiner Wars figures.
Yeah, I can see it.
I mean, this is definitely the Repugnus body right there. You can see in the feet, and these are essentially basically retooling of the Dinobots, which this really turned me off on so many levels of this figure.
I don't know if they're reuse, but they definitely have hollow forearms, hollow legs, hollow shin. So I'm shocked to see that on this, like what seemingly is a high end product. Maybe they did that to keep the price the same as Hot Rod.
Well, Rodimus, I mean, I actually have it up here just to show. Share screen. I don't know if you saw this, but that guy was going for $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking because that one all together, it's taller, probably has more accessories. So I'm betting 250.
Well, but that's again, even if you call these $30 of, these are heavy retools of Combiner Wars figures, I'd be paying maybe $30 each for those. 30, 60, 120.
And the middle guy is probably a commander class.
So 65, I wouldn't, but just for those, and that's just for the parts on here, but $60. Okay, $200 for that set, maybe. But yeah, I mean, also for me, I don't know if you guys remember, like the big thing with the G1 Predaking specifically, and then also with the MMC ones, part of that gimmick for Predaking was they're all the same size. That's why he was such a massive combiner. And I mean, again, this final result does look cool, but I think also those feet are the feet are helping on that, to be honest. He's literally wearing lifts to make him look that good. So
yeah, so that's a no for you, T, for this guy.
No, I want that Hot Rod, but I didn't pre-order it, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get it.
There might be other sources for him. It's hard to say, but
actually, I might have to check. I might have pre-ordered it. I just do things recklessly sometimes, and then I'm out of $200.
I couldn't believe Dave Lynch and Bob Uecker both passed away today.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. Yeah.
But speaking of more creative ways of playing with your toys, they're having a new Transformers 1 series, but it's a stop motion series.
Huh?
Yeah.
What about Chicken without all the cussing and sexual stuff?
Oh.
So, and they'll be coming out, putting out, starting tomorrow.
So obviously it doesn't have the cast, right? I can't read from here.
Don't know if it says anything on there. They don't have any kind of trailer or anything on here.
I wonder how long the episodes are going to be, because they can consider 5 minutes a whole episode.
Exactly. I mean, these might be like little 3-minute shorts. Who knows? But it's done by the Soul Publishing, which is a digital management branding thing. Who knows? But the first episode goes up tomorrow, and then they have another one going up on Saturday.
So are they on YouTube, or where does it say that they're going to be distributing this?
It'll be on the official Transformers YouTube channel, so it's probably going to be a couple minutes then. It's not going to be like a half-hour thing.
Could be a series of episode 1 parts that you string together, and you get your 22 minutes.
Well, like remember G.I. Joe Resolute? I don't know if you actually watched it all the way through, but those were originally little clips that they did finally put into like a full movie, and like the Clone Wars were way back when.
Yep.
Also this week, I know we talked on it, but we have official we have pricing for Masterpiece Rat Trap.
So pulling up cold.
$105.
It's pretty much, unfortunately, the same thing if you buy it on Amazon Japan, which is normally
That's what I was
cheaper.
going to ask, was the price difference.
If it depending on where you buy it, it might be a little bit more on Amazon Japan.
Well, we got the full the MPG 15 Cybertron or the Rattle figure, because it is the Japanese version. Rattle as opposed to Rat Trap. We got the full box contents. So we have the figure. The Beast has a replacement face. The robot has a smile replacement face and a surprise. Beast joint and robot joint. I could not tell you what. I guess that's these parts right here. I guess. Blaster, 2 bombs, character card, and instruction sheet. So no stand or anything for it.
As a stand to let him ride on Primal.
That might be what the Beast joint. That might be what the Beast and robot joints are.
Yeah. So Primal can be riding on Rhinox while he's riding on Optimus's back. But yes, I want this. I did pre-order it, but Amazon Japan took my money all up front. So I canceled it.
This is estimated to arrive next year.
I thought it's the end of this year, right?
It's right now, according to this, released from Big Bad Toy Store, estimated to arrive January 2026.
Yeah, on Amazon Japan, it was September or October. And they still charged me immediately. I'm not used to that. I was trying to put away these freaking shoulder pieces for Genrai, and one of them fell on the floor.
I mean, they did again. It's gonna should be a beautiful figure.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And the main thing about this is it's MPG, so it proves that MPG doesn't mean anything.
Correct.
It's just Masterpiece, and whatever they decide to do, they're doing it. I wish, Joey. I wish.
And then the last little bit of Transformer news that I've kind of gleaned on is they're re-releasing Trypticon.
Yep. He looked good. I keep going back and forth on, does he look good or does he need some more paint? But he looks good. He needs more paint.
He's also $200. He's also $200.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that slaps me back into a reality. I got the original one for $3.99. So it's like, do I really need that?
I picked up the original one at an Ollie's for $50.
Right. I did see it, and I saw it in Burlington Coat Factory of all places for $60.
Wow.
So
I forget how much I paid for mine.
So guess what, everybody? For those of you who want to get rid of your Trypticons, you could probably sell them for $100 and make a profit, and you'll be feeling all ethical because you're doing better than Hasbro is right now.
You're going to definitely have to boost up the price because shipping it somewhere.
That's true.
Even if you break it apart, it's going to be high. You can't shrink it at all.
I mean, did they change the colors a little on this one? I didn't.
Oh, it's completely changed.
It's darker. Yeah,
it's almost black. The other one is like a smoky gray.
Right.
I think he matches now that color scheme from
the anime. The cartoon. Sorry.
But there was an online cartoon from not Robot Chicken, maybe it was, but not the comedy, but there was the series.
Oh, the Power of the Primes cartoon.
Yes,
that was actually done by Machinima.
There you go. That's who it was.
No, if you watch the original show, he was Darko in there. Oh, one thing is different is they fixed the hips.
Oh,
The hips used to be like loose or some crap. For me, the hips weren't the problem. It was the connection point on the plate beside the hips. That would just open up whenever it wants to.
Yeah.
So one thing I always want to say that the toughest Transformer, the strongest Decepticon of all time was actually Full Tilt, who is the little purple car. Because think about it, he was on the chest when Trypticon transforms. He's on Trypticon's chest. That poor guy got punched by Metroplex how many times? I mean, I if I was writing a Transformer comic, I actually would incorporate that in there. Like some bully, and he's like, dude, that guy is like the one you don't want to fuck with. Second only to the one that's on the chest of Menasor.
He has the same metal as remember when the Stunticons first appeared?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like almost indestructible, riding into rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever they had going on, that's what he had going on.
They had main character energy going on because they were the focus, they were the focus, not the fodder.
Some of that.
So okay,
Special from John.
Branching away from the Transformers, NECA did a little bit of a showing. Now, Mike, I know you're not too much of a NECA guy, but this one might kind of catch your eye because it's the werewolf from The Howling, and that might still fit with some of the things in your collection currently.
I did look at this guy earlier. He definitely does look pretty cool. So I don't know if I have any more room for another werewolf, since I have the Kilowog and the Veteran Williams. I mean, those two versions of the same figure, but I like the fact that the proportioning is a little different. I like the thick neck shown in that picture there. So I don't know. It might end up with me by
sell one of your duplicates.
You still haven't seen The Howling? That is a classic werewolf movie.
Years ago.
Yep. Back when T was a young buck.
His voice actually was his voice actually was higher, believe it or not.
At one point.
And then the other one, now this is with the Universal Monsters, because they released The Mummy a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now here is Ardeth Bay. So this is after the Mummy got out of his crypt. This is what he got turned into. He turned into basically. So this this is Boris Karloff right here, in his finest.
Yeah, that does look really good. I mean, and for you who's been steadfast in collecting these Universal monsters, I mean, this is going to be perfect addition for you.
I love this reuse of the mummy's head, though.
Now, does it come with the hands as well, the desiccated hands, or?
I believe so. Yes, it does.
Looks like it. All right, cool. And the map.
So, that's money right there for me.
That looks pretty wild. So,
I mean, again, I'm a classic movie fan. I'm a classic horror movie fan. So, at least for this does definitely trips a couple triggers. Again, and I think that would look a Karloff and having that next to Vincent Price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to track down a Christopher Lee Dracula. That he has not appeared down here yet. They probably shipped him all over to the Raleigh area because, at least when I say North Carolina doesn't get stuff, okay, the Greensboro Triad, Winston-Salem area doesn't get stuff.
Well, I have not been a Target in a month.
You're not missing anything. And there's your contact, Dave, to see if you can get some of that stuff now.
But again, that's the reason why I wanted to showcase that werewolf, because that was, even if you're not in the movies, that's just a very good werewolf in general. I think, even it being the NECA scale at the 1/10 scale, I think it would still work with other collections, almost like mixing a select in. American Werewolf in London. NECA did a fantastic version of that werewolf, which I picked that up a while ago. Oh, you guys, all the collectors down there. Yeah, but you know a lot of the collectors down there too, so you can just dispatch them.
That's the same for up around here.
And unfortunately, Matt's not here because I really wanted to get the look on this. Because 3-0 just announced another Rockman.
Yeah. He's definitely had this thrown in his face. It doesn't exist. Meanwhile, they have like 3 variants.
So, I mean...
It's getting like Jada Toys out here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good in pictures and in the world of the internets, but
and the reviewers who have gotten their samples apparently like theirs. Just Matt's been denied his.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's nuts how everybody is getting this stuff. It's got to be out somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I still want that Christopher Lee Dracula as well, because I'm also excited the fact they've got the license for Christopher Lee, because that could do a whole lot of cool stuff with that, and the Hammer films. I want a NECA. There's Bela. You got 3 major actors who've played Dracula. You got Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, and Christopher Lee. Bela Lugosi and Karloff did it for Universal Monsters. Christopher Lee played Dracula for Hammer Films, and so I would love for them if they're getting the license for the Hammer horror films, because they also did Frankenstein, which Peter Cushing played, which that means that they would have the license for Peter Cushing, aka Grand Moff Tarkin. God, I'm a nerd. Yet I still lost at trivia last night.
Did we talk about the... I feel like we talked about the Romanki gun girl getting recalled.
Yes, we talked about that brief. Yes, we did talk about that.
Well, it wasn't recalled, but it had problems. Matt actually got a message from them saying that it's going to be delayed like a month or 2 because they found the problems or whatever.
Good.
I paid for one, so I didn't get my message yet, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. But my school is gonna be off for a second, but I'm still gonna be able to hear you. I gotta come back.
Okay.
All right. Yep. So, yeah, MDLX. If I ever see it,
just double checking here. He threw me out. I thought Karloff played Dracula.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I was wrong on that one. I hate not getting trivia right. Venom bite through. All right, take care, Abby. We appreciate you. Hopefully, I'll catch you. I'll definitely catch you on Friday on your show, and hope to sneak on again on a Tuesday. But we're kind of breezing through the topics today. I know this is the last thing. This is the last piece of major news that I've got headline wise, but I know we've got a couple things to talk about with both Valaverse and Harbinger Studios, Mike.
Yep.
That we just don't have any articles to show.
Nope.
But I'm not always I haven't been the biggest figure arts fan for a while. But this one definitely has caught my eye of having a Jackie Chan.
Is that from his first movie?
It's not from his first movie, but it is from one of his famous lines. It's called Police Story.
Oh.
I maybe would have preferred if they had done Drunken Master. Drunken Master 2, not Drunken Master. But this still is because this also just works as a good figure. And they did get that face sculpt. They usually don't do people too well, but they got his face sculpt pretty well.
If it was rush hour, I would have pre-ordered it already.
Well, the thing is, they've got his face sculpt now, so they can do other figures from other movies if this sells well.
It seems like they only stick to one. They did 2 Bruce Lees, right?
Yes. And one of the, I think they did both. They did Game of Death, and I think they did Fist of Fury. Not Fist of Fury. Come on, David. Enter the Dragon. My only, I guess, I don't say concern, but it's interesting they're doing single jointed elbows for him.
Hey, figure arts kind of do those universal joint thingies sometimes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of cool looking.
I like the Converse. I like the fact he's got Converse on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Police Story is actually a pretty fun movie too. Just saying in general. So, closing that up for a minute. Dress as Chun-Li. That was in the City Hunter movie, by the way. Okay. Well, if you're gonna play that one on there, you can also you can almost say that Claudius Klinsky played him as well, but that was more the Nosferatu movie. Jack Palance played Dracula? Dang.
And Leslie Nielsen. That's one I remember.
And he was loving it.
Yes.
So if you guys were watching 3PO, the 3POA podcast this week, one of their favorite, I don't want to say punching bags, but they were talking, they were talking about, of course, the Street Humans campaign, which there is a fantastic video out there breaking down how and frankly why that Kickstarter didn't go through. I think it's a very objective video. Mike, do you remember who made it? I'm blanking on the guy's name.
It was Action Figure Autorium, I believe.
Yeah, Action Figure Autorium. Yeah, and if you want a good breakdown, it's just, he hits all the high notes of what makes a successful Kickstarter successful. If you ever basically want to run one, things that you should do, versus your basic figure, your premium figure, your luxury figure, all that. And so that. And of course, 3POA being 3POA, they got a little bit of flack on there. But if you guys know, Bobby Valla can be kind of one of the pettiest guys out there.
One of many. There's one of many out there. I don't know if petty is the right word, but I think it's more like opportunistic.
Opportunistic, yes. Opportunistic, a little snarky. And again, he's got his... I can justify him being who he is, okay? He's got every reason to be who he is. I'm not attacking the man because he announced that he is basically making the street force that we wanted. He's like, how do you put it? So if someone wanted to make people in tank tops and jeans for about $20, and apparently he's already started production on it.
Maybe.
Okay, see, Laser, you can tell him I was talking about him, but I didn't talk shit about him. I don't want him coming after my ass. Technically, Bobby has
you're excommunicated. You're out of the circle. You lose your 3POA membership. Sorry.
Well, luckily I was muted.
But yes, so we're gonna get basically we don't have any pictures yet. We don't have any information yet, but Valaverse is going to be giving us the background characters we were hoping to get, and they'll actually also be in proper 1/12 scale, which also has me very, very.
Hopefully, all of them won't be in the exact same tank top, but for $20, I guess they will.
It'll be just basic colors. It's going to be a very generic figure line, which again, for background characters, that's all I really need.
Yeah,
these are people.
I want a t-shirt. It could be a soft goods t-shirt or something like that. Or another vest that makes them stop their articulation.
Well,
So we
and I'm
announced
sure.
that. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, go for it.
No. Go.
Well, I was gonna say, such a generic figure in the hands of someone who truly knows how to do crafting and building, he will actually show you how to enhance that toy the proper way. Right? I
No
was
drama.
talking you up. I was making you sound better than him.
Rule number 7, or goal. But that's not the only thing that Valiverse came out with this week.
Do tell.
He did talk about his backpacks that he showed earlier this month.
Yeah. Oh yes, I forgot
And
about
he
that.
also showed a video on his Instagram and Facebook page about the bazooka / rocket launcher weapon that he's developing, including a case that has the ability to actually hold the top part of it up. So what he didn't show was the blast effects that he did display in pictures at DFW. What else? He did talk about the conventions that Valiverse will be going to this year. I think the first one that's up around this area is going to be Zolicon on March 1st. More info to follow on that one. What else, man? There could be a small reissue of the Vanguards coming out since they're running low on their first batch. And then more information on Series 6. I think he said the reveal is going to be at DFW.
Yes.
But there's going to be a series of releases all throughout the year. So you're not just going to be waiting until, winter 25 for Series 6.
And of course, every convention is going to have an exclusive.
Yes, I think majority of them, he said it was going to be one. There's going to be one for Zolicon, one for definitely DFW, obviously, but there was two more that he said. And yeah, thank you, dude. Talked about the turret. It's the turret that allows you to elevate the machine gun for the Vanguard is in. It's just not on the website yet, but that is going to be available for people for free.
Oh, damn.
Just probably shipping and stuff, but still, it's acknowledging the fact that the Vanguard turret did not have a feature or a point of articulation, so it's being rectified. Oh, thanks, Rule. So these are the shows that are going to have the exclusives. So DFW, ToyCon, New Jersey, and then of course Legions Con in November.
Well, as far as that, I think that's nice, but he didn't have to do that because he designed the way that he wanted it designed.
Well, that's the thing. It's literally listening to the consumer.
Well, give me a backpack, please. I'll take that. To go with all the figures that should have had a backpack.
And then he did tease about the idea of the concept of fantasy figures, which I think it would be interesting because I think he said he was worried about being in conflict with the Four Horsemen. I'll say this, Bobby, your scale is completely different from Four Horsemen. I don't think it would be a conflict at all. Just saying.
It's apples and oranges. It's just
it is. It's just what your character is going to be, your genre.
What are you going to fantasy force?
Well, no, there was Carrick has his specific Spartan style helmet. So someone was like, well, what if you get get more of like a medieval looking helmet or something else for like the garrison and stuff. So that's where he was kind of going with it.
So that's the Vala news we've got going on. And then literally right before this show came on, the boys over at Harbinger Studios.
Yeah, it's the Savage Crucible guys. It's Rob and Tim Peake and Stellos and backer number 1 Renato. So
they are announcing the fact that the pre-orders. Do we have any?
Check the private chat, Dave. I put a link to their Instagram.
Oh, perfect. You are.
So while you're bringing that up,
Mike, you are the man, the myth, the legend.
yeah, the main highlights that they brought up in their stream that started at 8 o'clock was the pre-order window for the new figure, the Eldrick of. I'm gonna butcher it, man.
Melenabone.
Yeah, that too is going to be going up for pre-order starting tomorrow on their website. And what they were showing, dude, this is going to be a really freaking awesome figure. The soft good cape is double-sided and wired throughout. The two swords. I mean, there's a whole story behind this guy. I'll be honest, I don't know anything about it.
I do. That's the thing. I am a
Well,
huge fan of this character.
Well, give us the TLDR on it, man.
He's an albino who used to be really sick and weakly, and then he was supposed to be ruling his kingdom. He got kicked out. He ended up finding this cursed sword, which basically worked as magical steroids to him, except this sword is possessed by a demon. And when you get killed by this sword, it devours your soul. It doesn't kill you. It devours your soul, which then helps power him, except the sword, he does not have complete control over that sword. So he will in all of his stories, he'll be sitting there doing the adventure, and usually towards the end, he ends up killing somebody very close to him because the sword is just being an asshole.
So this character is from a series of books that was created, right?
Written by Michael Moorcock, who also used to be in the band Hawkwind. That's the guy's name, all right? God, grow up a little.
Did you say something about Hardwick?
Anyway,
it's all standing up from now. So.
It's anyway.
Continue.
And then it's part of an entire series called The Eternal Champions. So he's got a whole book series on there, and then in the comic books, he did crossover with Conan in the old Marvel comics on there. So this is a character who can fit in a lot of sword and sorcery settings, basically.
Yes, and I think in the stream they talked about this Venom, that he was actually kind of like a ingredient.
They're like him. They're like him.
Yeah, he's the ingredient for like their creations or their characters, right?
Yes.
Elder came first.
This guy is a linchpin. He is right there actually. When it comes to the tiers of characters, he is there with Conan. He is there, with these template John Carter as far as to influence other characters. So he's the of having the cursed weapon basically.
Yeah, his weapon was in Blood Omen. It sounded like the Soul Reaver.
The weapon is called Stormbringer, and like I said, it's a whole demon. I remember it's literally just evil incarnate put into a weapon.
Yes. Now, like I was saying, this is supposed to go live on their website, SavageCruciblePreorder.com or something. I have to look that up, make sure. But it's going to be a live pre-order from tomorrow until the 21st of February. They recommended MSRP for this on e-retailers like BBTS or others that are going to see this. It's probably going to be $60, which again, for the soft goods, the weapons, all this other stuff, which I will get back to the weapons in a second, it is, not horrible, but for their pre-order, again, they are shifting things over to more of a Shopify style payment plan or payment schemes. So there are two options. You can get this figure for $45 plus shipping, which if you've ordered from Savage Crucible before, their shipping was like $15, which is pretty outrageous for one item. But that is up now. Cool. But you can pay it outright for $45 and then shipping, or you can put a $5 deposit, and then when the figure is in and ready to ship, they'll charge you, I think, the rest of it, which is like $45. So you pay like $5 more if you just put the deposit down compared to just paying it outright. But you get all these really cool extra helmets. If you want to go back one, Dave, the pouch of herbs, and then the potion, which is actually going to glow in the dark, based on what Rob was saying. So that, I mean, that's pretty rad right then and there. The helmets look fantastic, and the fact that you could theoretically army build this guy just by using the alternate helmet is really cool. Alternate hands, like I said, the soft good cape. There's two regular swords, the shield, but he's also going to come with a secret additional weapon in the package. So for those that bought like the last Lumerian, the Rexbus, you saw that there was a little black Ziploc bag in the bottom of the container that had an extra weapon. Where they're going to continue to do that with all the upcoming waves. And if you pre-order from their website, you will get a second secret weapon as well in your purchase. So you'll come out with the two regular swords, the shield, but you also have two extra not seen before weapons from them as well. And if you buy two, you get four secret weapons. If you buy, do the math. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty decent offering. The promo pictures that are going to be obviously what you see here and probably what else is going to go up on the website. It's pretty rad. I mean, the way that the wired cape kind of drapes off the body that allows you to actually hold the scabbard for the weapon as well looks pretty badass. So,
well, you mentioned that. So the recommended MSRP is going to be $60.
Yeah,
and you mentioned their shipping is $15.
It was. They're getting adjusted new rates, and they're calling it more in line of kind of like Valorverse has $8. So I would say the range could be from like $6 to $9, depending on location.
Let's just for even numbers, call it $10.
Yep.
So $45, you pay for it in full, and then you pay that shipping. That's $55. You're still $5 below MSRP.
Plus tax.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if they charge tax or not.
Everything requires tax.
Amazon screwed that up, so you're paying tax crossing state lines.
If my Amazon Japan purchase had Maryland tax on it.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah.
On some sad news, though, in regards to Wave 2, unfortunately, they weren't able to get the second wave on the water before Chinese New Year, which is basically now to the next 6 weeks. So, and that was because for the Frazetta, figure that they've created, there's a soft goods cape which looks really awesome. Like Rob actually had a prototype of it, and the inside of the. All right, so we'll take the Frazetta Norseman here, right? And you look on this cape that he had, the soft goods cape, and it's just kind of like the fabric on the inside. Well, they actually did like a latex painting on the inside of the cape to simulate like actual animal skin. So that's just cool stuff overall. So
neat. All right.
Yes, it officially starts on the 29th, but factories shut down like a week or so before. So basically this week. So, but yeah, and he showed off some really cool Wave 2 weapon packs and armor sets, similar to what we saw with the Lumerian set. But yeah, check out Savage Crucible's YouTube channel for the replay if you want to get more information and some really cool pics.
Last thing, I did not realize with Savage Crucible that those heroes, not the biblical hero figures that are coming out, are supposed to be able to be compatible with those.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're compatible.
Not the one that you have. Not the one that you have, but the one that actually has like the biblical like six-winged angel.
Okay.
You've got the demons, those demons.
Oh yeah. Oh, Biblical Adventures. Okay, D13. All right.
Not the D13 ones, but the other ones that's done by the other guy from Four Horsemen. They've got like Azazel coming up and Gabriel.
Yeah, that's Chris Garrich. He's the production guy, but he works for the Four Horsemen. He also has his own company called D13, and it's maybe Roll Keeper's helping out. You're thinking Almighty Legends?
Almighty Legends, yes.
Okay, yeah. So so that like the Azrael, that's like $50 and stuff on BBTS.
Yeah. But
So
apparently
if
that is
they're compatible.
Yeah, they're going to be compatible with them, which I think is. And then I did not realize that the Legendaries were going to be compatible with Cosmic Legions.
Yes, there's going to be some minor customization that might occur with those guys, but yeah, Marco and Jeremy, they with getting the design assistance from the Four Horsemen. I mean, there's a lot of customization options that are going to be available for those guys. Which again, I got to check. I think they might be slightly delayed in regard to production. I know back in LegionsCon they were saying hopefully 60 days, but things kind of shift around. But that's okay.
As long as it comes out right, that's all I can say.
Yep.
I don't want a fist. I do not want a fist level figure, and that wasn't a joke. I'm talking about the brand.
Oh yeah. Well, I agree with you. I have mine that I still had to fix up again.
Yeah.
Look.
So finally, we do actually have a slight discussion topic. So
what do you guys want to talk about?
And that is the big news that came out the other day. And our title, Diamond Comic Distributors going Chapter 11. Now, if you aren't subscribed to them, Ted and Aaron from Helidope Toys did a nice little 15-minute video last night about this.
Okay.
So, Tia, you're about to say something? I'm sorry, I interrupted. I apologize. Oh, you're muted. That's why I couldn't hear you because.
All I said was dun dun dun.
Okay. But this is a big deal because Diamond effectively has had an unofficial monopoly on comic distribution, a lot of, frankly, geek gear distribution from the previews magazine, and of course the Diamond Select aspect of it. I mean, they've got a lot of things under their umbrella. Gentle Giant works with them. Diamond Distributing. I mean, if you look through their web, all the things that they work with, they already have it on their website talking about the restructure that they're restructuring right here. But do they have all their brands that they work with on here?
I don't know.
Previews World, they handle Free Comic Book Day.
So it's another aspect of a huge business conglomeration with their fingers in a little bit of everything, and when something goes bad, it reaches a lot of has a lot of outreach.
I mean, the big thing to keep in mind: this is Chapter 11, not Chapter 13.
Mega J. So what's does it say what the difference? I mean, I know 13 is kind of
Chapter 11 basically means they're basically asking for help. They are restructuring. They are basically reconsolidating. Like I said, the fact that they're going to be selling their various assets. They've got Game Trade magazine. They've got a lot of small things underneath it. They can sell all those off to keep the parent company going.
Mm-hmm.
So, Diamond Select.
I'm sorry. It's similar to like back in the 80s and stuff when Marvel was facing and they did Chapter 11. That's why a lot of their character properties were sold. That's why Sony has Spider-Man, and
correct, the media rights, the
Fox
filming,
and everything had the X-Men and such.
So let's say it was 2 years ago and Hasbro filed Chapter 11. They could then sell the Hasbro film division could actually be sold off. The television division could be sold off. If they wanted to, they could sell Nerf production if they wanted to just to keep like, hey, we just want to say it being a board game company or something. Chapter 13 is basically they're effed.
Yep.
For me, this is probably why they're in this position. I don't think anything they do affects me because I don't buy their toys. I haven't bought a comic book in forever, and I don't know what else they.
No,
I mean,
but
I hope that I don't want bad things to happen to people, so I hope they can recover. But I haven't been buying their toys.
you
That's
have
been
it does it will indirectly impact you. For example, do you buy stuff at a comic book shop?
I don't even. Oh, I only know about
Riser
one.
Slam.
That's about that. They've already closed almost every comic shop near me.
But that's a bit. But I'm just saying. But things like that, a lot of places that carry graphic novels, that are getting those from Diamond distributors. I mean, they don't just distribute comic books, but that is one of their biggest things, and they kind of took over that in the 80s. One of the big things that they mentioned on Hella Dope, apparently next month, Image Comics isn't going to send them any comics. So if anyone wants to buy Image Comics, they'll be having to buy them direct, or there's going to be some smaller distribution companies coming by to basically pick up the scraps.
But with all the internet and everything, it's only like a matter of time. People like stuff free, and then AI is big.
Well, but essentially what Dave is saying is that Comic Book Wednesdays are going to be on pause for an indeterminate amount of time. And that's usually when all the new books from Marvel, DC come out. And I mean, this is something that is really going to affect because Marvel and DC were very much beholden to Diamond for doing all this distribution stuff because that's something they didn't have to worry about paying for. And now we're going to be coming back to, an environment free consolidation. So I mean that affects not only the readers but the writers, the artists. So
that's how people get paid, by getting their product out.
But hopefully, things will go through, and I think Titan dropped a little bit of a spicy take of possibly that. I don't know where it went. Oh, there you go, McFarlane. I don't know, man. Toddy Max got the money, I'm sure, especially after people, dropping a couple million on a Kickstarter. So
DC versus Dark really good out there.
It'd be really cool, So
but this is going to have some lasting impacts on the industry, and yes, and it will affect the toy industry because it's not just Diamond Select. They do help push some of the smaller products out there because they are a distributor.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get the distribution rights to it, for example, if Big Bad, it'd be the same thing if Big Bad Toy Store went under. Where would that? There you got the distribution rights for Storm Collectibles for the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff. So
yep.
It also comes to part of were they a company? 10 years ago, some people would say they were a company that was too big to fail, and they're failing.
So I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see who's going to be coming in to assist with the restructuring. It's going to be a good opportunity for some independent companies to maybe consolidate some of their costs and get in. So yeah, interesting.
And just because we always like to talk about independent toys and hopefully get some positive news here, let's go ahead and get a current. How is the Cursed Dead looking right now? They have broken $65,000 of their $175,000 goal. 15 days to go, so they're about halfway. They're halfway there on timeline. So hopefully they can. I know they are. They just spoke with Kato the other night. They were on Kato's channel the other night. I know they're going to be on 3POA towards the end of the month.
They were on Figure Fight Club as well.
They were on Figure Fight Club,
mm-hmm.
Which is why they couldn't get on Figure Reaction because he got there first. Yeah.
but
Get more money.
I always like to track these. They did mention the other night they have not gotten their big bad toy store money in yet, so
yep.
this one's still, I like to say, still about a 50-50 chance right now of going through. And I hope they do, because again, when we have multiple products out there, the consumer wins.
Agreed.
Yeah, they look.
Hmm?
They look kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the breakdown and the stories of each of the characters. I mean, from watching the stream on Figure Fight Club when they were going through, I mean, they basically approach this that every character kind of could be their own B grade horror movie with their story that's been written about each one. And they kind of justified some of the cost for the deluxe figures versus the base figures. Again, their deluxe figures are I think like $85 a pop for things.
My big
So
thing is they don't have anything in the middle. You're either 40 or 80. They should have had I think they should have had a $60 option personally, but
maybe we'll get Action Figure Auditorium to do a breakdown of how that Kickstarter is going whenever it's done. So, but yeah, what else we got? What else is going on, man?
That's the major stuff, and that's the thing, guys. News is going to be kind of slowing up because we got Chinese New Year coming in for product coming out. But a lot of the companies are going to be really quiet on their news until ToyCon's coming, until the new toy convention's coming out. So definitely trying to be pushing a lot on discussion. We're going to be talking about some collecting habits, hopefully, how we see a direction of our collections, your collections. Some things I'm going to be posting out there. Keep an eye on our socials. I definitely want to try to get back on kicking our Facebook page up a little more. I know I've completely slacked on that. I apologize. But I think I want to try to bring some people in from the chat onto the show occasionally.
Yeah,
I was wondering about that. Have it's like someone else that did an open mic area or something like that. That'd be kind of interesting to actually have some fresh takes.
Yep. No, Mega, we actually did talk about that at the beginning part of we did actually do a whole Transformer section at the beginning. We did talk about that. Yes. Your wallet is on an IV, as are all.
You're absolutely right, Satan.
Well, you get a break in Chinese New Year.
We do get a break. So that being said, I think we can call this an early night tonight. I don't have any crazy games. I don't have any crazy stuff to do.
Well,
Mike,
you are going to be somewhere, right? Next week?
No, next week after that.
Oh, week after that? Okay.
That. All so you get me next week. You still get me next week.
Oh, hold on. We forgot one thing.
What did we forget?
So, in case you didn't know, and I'll actually I'll send it to you real quick on the private chat. So, give me 1 second. But earlier this week, the ever popular and fun Unboxing Art had Trevor Williams, aka 1/6 Shooter, on their stream, and one of the things they definitely wanted to talk about, not only his career as a professional photographer for the Four Horsemen, but they also talked about the new pre-order that's up right now, which is the Compendium Mythic Legions, the first 10 years book.
God, it's been 10 years.
Yes. Again, that's what they celebrated this past Legions Con, was the 10th anniversary of the studio. Or I'm sorry, 10th anniversary of Mythic Legions. And this is a really amazing coffee table edition showing all the figures, backstories of the designs, and Trevor's awesome photography, all available for everyone. It's pretty badass looking, and yeah, hopefully it'll be out by this fall. So it's 360 some pages of figure lore, or not lore, I don't think, but I mean there might be more stuff that Jeremy puts into the backstory of the figures. So
Very cool.
It's pretty cool. And also, if you go to the other part there, Dave, they also have another Legions builder up for pre-order as well, which is their Silver Knight builder 2.
Silver Knight.
You can get 12 of them for $325.
You're right. And I'm not doing that. But
Nope.
this is a really interesting looking figure. It has a mixture of some of the new parts from the Valiant Knight, and a really cool feature to switch out the helmet and face on it.
Is this the original style body?
Say again?
The original style body?
It's still going to be some 1.0 parts, but like things like the forearms on the body are from the Valiant Knight, so it allows you to actually get a two-handed grip for your weapon in front of the face there. I still think it's single jointed knees. But the shield itself is really cool looking too. But yeah, these are available for pre-order now. So
Cool.
if you're interested for that, I know a lot of people were just kind of looking at it and be like, oh, that's cool and stuff, but how much is that dragon going to cost? And there is no updates from the Horseman on that cost yet. Dork Cleric had a really good breakdown on some of his 2025 predictions with some what he believes anticipated costs and options would be for the dragon. And they're going to do payment plans. So yay. But yeah, so that's another little bit of knowledge that was dropped this week. 1 a.m. Okay.
Cool.
Definitely want to check that out.
All right then. Well, in that case, then really, this time we mean this is like This is like Return of the King. All right, the movie's over. No, wait, not quite yet. No,
Yeah, I got one more thing. So while we don't have anyone set up for figure reaction here soon, I and Dave are being wonderful guests on other shows. Dave was definitely participating in some really cool podcast streams this week. And next Sunday, I will have the pleasure of sitting with two amazing customizers in the Legions community. I will be on Jesse Arnold's stream on Sunday with him and Curtis Ackerman. Jesse is basically going to be running the Wolf King Customs stores at the conventions, obviously with Len LaGuardia as well. And those that are in the Legions community are well aware of Curtis's customizing skills and purchasing his customs and awesome add-ons from his wife Darla. So we're going to go on there. We're going to talk about photography, some of the things we see on Instagram, just collecting overall, my experiences so far with Legions, and more than likely we will be able to have them grace our channel.
Awesome.
Which will give you, Dave, since you are a fledgling Legionnaire, a chance to talk to these guys and ask as many questions and talk about your experiences that you want, man.
Okay, I appreciate that.
That's
gonna be
I
cool.
want to talk to him too. I mean,
We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun.
Absolutely.
So
And we're promoting other channels.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, I'm going to be on TM Reviews channel with Peak for Life with the Transformers news from probably the past 30 days or so. So,
Cool.
yeah. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to get press passes to get to New York Toy Fair.
awesome.
Whoa.
I registered, but let's see what happens. It says they need one of the requirements, or one of the things I guess they look into, is a minimum of 25K subscribers if you're going by YouTube channel. And I have 5 over that, so yay.
That's right. Did we ever really congratulate you for hitting that? We did.
Yes, we did. We did.
Okay.
Then as soon as he hit that number, I unsubscribed. No, I'm kidding.
All right. I'm just asking because I didn't get the check yet for talking it up.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
Like twice, 3 times. Maybe even before that. But thank you again. Thank you, everybody else out there that's actually subscribed.
And then that being said, really, we mean it this time. We appreciate everyone who has joined us for this wonderful episode of Figure Reaction. We had this is probably one of the best chat groups we've had in a long time. I appreciate every single one of you. All you guys who catch us on the replay squad, absolutely we appreciate you. And remember, every one of your chats is a super chat to us. We have T-Man978. We have Junkie on Crafts and Builds. I am True Starscreamer. Please check out my channel because I need it. These guys have got like they're already over 1,000s, man. They're in the thousands. I'm still in the hundreds. But most importantly, we'll see you all next week. And until next time, take care. Peace.
Goodbye.